Day 2 of the full body cleanse.
Welcome to day 3 of the 30-day full body cleanse. Welcome to day 5 of the 30-day full body cleanse. Welcome to day 7 of the 30-day full body cleanse. Welcome back to day 8 of the 30-day full body cleanse. 30 days. 30 days of discipline. 30 days of consistency. 30 days of overcoming cravings. 30 days of fasting. I've completed my 30-day full body cleanse, and like I promised, I'm here to follow up with you guys regarding my experiences, my challenges, and anything else along the lines of detoxification and fasting. So originally, I started this fast not just for physical detoxification, but also for mental detoxification to aid in expediting my ability to manifest certain things as we bring in the new year, right? So for some of you who aren't familiar with, there is this thing called the Winter Solstice, which is from December 21st to January 21st every year. And it's something that many ancient cultures have done throughout history in various different ways. This is not the only way or the only tradition, but this is the way that I found best to fit me to embrace bringing in the new year, which is basically fasting for 30 days and making that time period dedicated to reflecting, releasing, and renewing. And so during this time period, you're reflecting on your past actions, your past interactions, your thoughts throughout the year. You are releasing anything or anyone that no longer serves you, and you are renewing whatever serves your highest good or your highest purpose. And so for me, this is my second year doing this. The first year I didn't make it through the full 30 days. So this year I wanted to make it through the full 30 days, and I did. And you may be asking yourself, well, what do you mean by expediting your ability to manifest? Things come when they come. And that is true to an extent. So spiritually speaking, when you cleanse out your vessel, things begin to work out in your favor in a quicker manner. And that's because you have less junk, less toxic matter holding you down, holding your spiritual body down, right? So what that means is that, for example, I know some people who've done water fast, and after completing a certain number of days on a water fast, no cheating, they've experienced mystical experiences and experienced wonderful things. So that was one of the reasons why I decided this journey too. Not just to cleanse my physical vessel, but to cleanse my spiritual vessel so that I may vibe on a higher vibrational frequency so that I can attract high vibrational things and do that in a faster manner than normal. The law of attraction works for anyone thinking in any type of manner. Whether you are a negative person who constantly thinks negative things, you're going to attract that. If you're a positive person who thinks positive things, you're going to attract that. But the difference is, what are you fueling your temple with? What are you putting in your vessel? What are you allowing your vessel to partake in? And so that's where the cleanse comes in, to cleanse out the junk physically, which also aids in cleansing out the junk mentally. It aids in the ability of you being able to think clearer, to experience clarity, to focus on precisely what it is you want or you desire, why you desire it, and also your purpose on doing this cleanse. It gives you a sense of purpose. And so for me, my goal was to cleanse out my gut, cleanse out my colon, my vessel, and to cleanse out my mental. I usually like to do a cleanse every 3 to 6 months, and the winter solstice was coming up during that time period. So that's why I decided to begin the journey again. When it comes down to challenges, and if I'm a level with you guys, being that this is my 3rd time fasting, the first couple of times I did 3 days, 7 days, 21 days, and now this one is 30. Now I will say this. It was a bit easier for me than it may be for you if you are a person who's never fasted in their life. And I'm gonna just be real with you. It's gonna be very difficult, especially if you have what I like to call an ultra processed tongue or ultra processed taste buds, meaning basically that's my way of saying you are a person who likes to drink sodas, juice, you like breaded sweets, you like your toxic like food and things that's not good for you. So if you are a beginner, 30 days will definitely be challenging for you. Now, I'm not saying it was a cakewalk for me, but it was easier than when I first started fasting. Okay, so therefore, I always recommend people to start off with 3 days, then 5 or 7, then maybe 14, and you work your way up from there. It's just like working out. You don't go from lifting 15-pound weights to 200 pounds. That doesn't happen. And if it does, please show me where. But it was easier, but there still were some challenges that I faced and some things that I found out about myself, right? So some of the challenges that I faced during fasting was the number one challenge that all people face: cravings. But this go round, my cravings weren't as intense as my first go round. Instead, my cravings weren't for McDonald's and fast food like I used to eat. My cravings were for mushrooms, vegan salads, lentils and vegan meals, vegetarian meals, plant-based meals, whatever label that you want to use that makes you feel comfortable. It was for clean meals. And honestly, I wasn't really craving snacks. I wasn't really craving sugary sweets or treats. I was more so craving the ability to just eat food, something other than fruit and greens. I wanted something, right? And that's perfectly normal during that time period. That's perfectly normal because I went from fasting and craving sweets, treats, and processed food to craving clean food and no sweet treats. We don't really keep snacks in my home. And that's because we've detoxed, and that's one of the benefits of detoxification, of cleansing, okay? So cravings was my challenge, but I did not buy anything from the store. I didn't stop and cheat myself by going to any fast food restaurants or any restaurants in general. My family cooked at their house during the holiday season. I didn't eat at anyone's house, okay? I did not cheat. And that's a big stepping stone for me. But for your journey, I'm gonna be honest with you, you may cheat. And I've done it before. Not this go round, but I've done it before on a fast. But that's when you pick yourself up and you try again, like with anything else. Failure is the ultimate teacher. It teaches you about your mental fortitude. And fasting does too. Fasting builds your mental fortitude. And so outside of cravings, I really didn't have any other challenges other than craving the ability to eat something cooked. Other than that, that was it. When I craved something, I replaced it with an action that was beneficial to my practice. And some of the things that I engaged in to keep me focused on my purpose was meditation. For you, it may be prayer, journaling, or working out, or my herbal bitters. The herbal bitters are the forefront of this detox that we did. They were the most important thing because they aided in cleansing the lymphatic system, the colon, the blood. They aided in cleansing the body of so many different things that I won't name on here because you know how they be. Okay. But I will say, if you're interested in learning a little bit more about the herbs we use, because they're very important in the cleanse that we did, you can join us on Facebook or join us on the Skool platform community where we can provide more insight and more assistance. But those are the things that aided me during this detoxification. Whenever I was craving something or wanted to cheat myself out of this cleanse or out of this fast, I would meditate, I would journal, or I would drink my herbal bitters. And one of the benefits of the herbal bitters is they reset the receptors on the tongue, meaning all that ultra processed tongue that you have, it helps to reset that. Okay, so that's one of the reasons why I don't really crave sweets anymore like I used to. Like, it's nice to have every once in a while, but I don't crave them like I used to. And I can eat fruit. A fruit is sweet to me. I don't need the Debbie cakes and the brownies and the Doritos, even though that's not sweet, that's still a processed snack. We don't really keep those in our home. We don't keep them at all. And so therefore, for me, I realized growing up in a house where we sold sweets for a living to now not keeping any sweets in my home other than ones that are clean, that's a lot of progress. And that's why I really have to give a big shout out to Dr. Yaki Awaken for helping me to get into this journey and understanding the herbs and how the herbs help with resetting the receptors on the tongue. But nevertheless, meditation, herbal teas, and I want to say working out are what kept me grounded and focused and prevented me from cheating myself out of this fast or out of this cleanse. Even though this isn't my first time, I had to remind myself not to beat myself up, because often you'll see on social media, which is the forefront of a lot of our perceptions of life, which isn't a good thing. You'll see on social media how people are upbeat and talking about the positive things of detoxing or cleansing. But honestly, sometimes it's not a pretty process, especially if you are backed up. It is not a pretty process. Now, the detox we did is one of the more milder ones, but there are some intense ways to detox, especially if you've ever tried duck flower before. This is not medical advice, okay? This is not medical advice. If you have further questions and you have any type of chronic condition, consult your healthcare provider if you choose to do so. But this was one of the more milder detoxes, right? So it wasn't as intense, but there are going to be moments where you are low on energy. Detoxing, fasting isn't all energy and happy moments. Sometimes you're frustrated with yourself. Sometimes you're frustrated in general because you're hungry and you want to give up and you just want to eat something, cook something. Sometimes you just feel very fatigued and low on energy. Sometimes you may even have headaches, which is a very common thing when you're fasting. I've experienced that. So what I had to learn to do is take a moment to not get frustrated with myself. When I found myself getting overwhelmed because I felt weak and I didn't like that feeling and I had a headache, those two things paired together is just very frustrating. Take a moment to sit down and do nothing. Talk to no one. Watch nothing. Just be fully present. Allow yourself to feel what it is you're feeling. What is happening with your body? What is your body saying to you? Listen closely, because the body is very intelligent. The body will always tell you what it needs. Sometimes it may be needing water, so you need to hydrate, especially if you're fasting. Sometimes it may need rest. So that means put the computer down, put the book down, take some time out for yourself to go in a quiet place and just rest instead of flashing out or getting frustrated. Because I'm not gonna lie, when I first started fasting and I worked a job where I had to interact with people and go to work and fast, it took everything in me not to lash out in anger. Not because it was the person's fault, although they were fussing or complaining and I didn't want to hear it. It still wasn't their fault because they don't control my reaction. I control my reaction. And so therefore, fasting and being in a job where you have to interact with people can be very challenging, but it is one that you can overcome. And so for me, during the 30 days, when I found myself getting a little overwhelmed or fatigued or low on energy, I would just take a moment to rest, to just be there. Now, most days were high days. Most days I did have a decent amount of energy and I was okay. But there were very few days in between where I wasn't, and that's okay too. Take a moment to listen to what my body is saying and what I need to do. And most of the time, it just wants me to rest. Would I do this again? Yeah, you bet I would. I definitely will be doing this again. But this time I think I'm gonna take it up a notch. I've done fruit fast. I've done 21-day fasting, eating fully clean, minimal cooked meals. I wanna take it up a notch. Let's try a water fast or maybe juice. When it comes to fasting, especially if you do a fruit fast like I did, fruits are very beneficial in hydrating the body and flushing the body of toxins. And the reason fruits are able to do this is because they're not only full of H2O, but they're also full of fiber. Now, some people like to say that fruits contain sugar, which can, have issues with diabetes. And from my experience and my understanding, you can do more research into this yourself and choose your own route to go. But from my experience, natural sugar is very, very different than ultra processed sugar. Okay. And you can go up to a certain period of time with fasting with fruits and be fine. But everybody's body is different. And like I always say, food is like religion. You do what works for you, but you do it in the healthiest, best way possible. So maybe this may not be for you. Maybe you can't do fruits, but maybe you can do raw veggies. Maybe you can do water. Maybe you can juice something, right? But the benefits of fasting, especially with fruit fast, is that fruits contain fiber and H2O, which aid the body in flushing out toxins and also hydrating the body. Another benefit would be improving your digestion. Okay, from my personal experience, when I do a fruit fast or any type of fast, because you are giving the body a break from constantly having to digest food, whether you're vegan, vegetarian, plant-based, or whatever you are, and you're feeding the body constantly throughout the week, throughout the day, the digestive system is always working. But when you're fasting and you're not eating as much and it slows down, it gives your digestive system a break. Your bowel movements improve. Your gut health improves. The next thing I would say is fruits aid in your skin's natural growth. And that's because fruits can contain antioxidants and hydration, energy. Without all that heavy ultra processed matter, that ultra processed food, or even if you're vegan or vegetarian, it still can be processed. It's all in the brand, where it comes from, how it's grown, where you get it from, how you cook it. There's so many factors that play a role in our health, no matter what type of diet you choose to live by. When you're on a fruit fast, it's different when you're getting your energy from natural sugars versus when you're getting them from artificial sweeteners or artificial sugars. Okay, it is the energy increase or energy boost without the crash per se. I also would say mental clarity. When you are on your fruit fast and your body is not weighed down by processed foods, you experience a lighter feeling overall. And it's one that you have to experience personally to truly understand or understand what I'm saying. But you feel lighter and your mind all of a sudden feels clearer. And with that clarity, you can now focus on what it is you desire, what it is you're trying to do, and also your purpose. And with that being said, the benefit of fasting also aids in your discipline. Because you not only need discipline to complete the fast, but you need discipline to complete whatever it is you set out to do in life. Whether it's to lose weight, to gain weight, to build muscle, to start a business, to, advance in your career, and to make sure you're studying and you're edifying yourself. You need discipline in all of these areas. Your spiritual growth, doing your spiritual practices. You need discipline in all areas of your life. And without discipline, there is a lack of progress, a lack of success. Things come very slowly to you, or sometimes not at all. And so when you begin to embark on your fast, not only do you have a clearer mind, but if you stay the path and you remind yourself to focus on what it is you're doing and why you're doing it, you can begin to apply that principle to other areas of your life. So I would say my discipline in all areas of my life has grown thanks to fasting. Because if I can stay committed to a 30-day fasting journey, then I can stay committed to doing the things that's going to put me in the places that I want to be, seeing the things I desire to see, and being the person that I desire to be. Your lack of success right now, your lack of wealth, your lack of growth, your lack in general in your life that you may be experiencing right now may be due to the fact that you are not consistent. And that consistency comes from also discipline. You lack discipline. You are not disciplined with yourself. Instead, you beat yourself up and then make excuses for yourself and you don't follow up. Or you don't beat yourself up. You tell yourself that it's okay, but instead of being disciplined and going after it again and again and again and again, you give up. And then you're just waiting for something magical to happen, some type of miracle. But you're not putting in the energy. You're not putting in the effort. You're not putting in the work. So one way to challenge yourself, to build your mental fortitude, or to even gauge where your mental fortitude is fasting. Not just for 3 days, but challenge yourself. Not just 72 hours or 24 hours or 48. How about 7 days? Let's see how far you can take it. And even if you fell along the way, that's okay. Pick yourself back up. We're about to try this again. And as you continuously do that with fasting, you're going to notice that you can go longer and longer. And as you continue to do that with your health, you also apply those same principles in other areas of your life. You fail, you get back up, you try it again, you try it again, you try it again, then boom, pow, it took off. And it seems like a miracle. And you're proud of yourself. If any of you have ever fasted before, doing any type of detoxification method, let me know in the comments what you did, what your experience was, and let's talk about it and support each other further. I want to thank you guys so much for following along with me on this journey, for taking the time out to make it to the end of this video. And if you're about to begin your own journey of taking your health into your own hands, then I'm wishing you much success, much peace, much love, much light, and much healing. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time.